pencil overboard. Thank you.
Just don't want to trip it.
Yeah, thanks.
So I'm probably not going to want to carry the Torah in the Hakafa.
Yeah, I figured that.
Thank you.
In Bayad.
All good? I'm going to sit tall.
Yes.
Yai la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 Yai la 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 la, yai la 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 la, yai la 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 la, yai la la, yai la 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 la, yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
And you can always tell that it is the Shabbat of Lech Lecha when we hear that beautiful tune, and we'll be able to sing Lechi Lach later in the service tonight. Tonight there's a lot going on in our service because it is, of course, that beautiful Torah portion of Lech Lecha. It's also Veterans Day weekend, the weekend of Kristallnacht, a day where we celebrate our birthdays and anniversaries, and of course, the joy of Shabbat. And so our service is going to be incorporating all of these things. And the first piece we wish to incorporate is giving thanks for all of the veterans in our congregation. So if you happen to be someone who is a veteran, I invite you to come up at this time. Any veterans here?
All right.
A lot of pressure on you.
Oh boy. Come on over here to this side.
Let's go over here.
Come over here.
Well, you can walk ahead of me. But as veterans, we want to give you the honor of lighting our Shabbat candles, saying the Kiddush, and then saying a few words about and receiving a blessing for serving our country so beautifully.
So if you start by reading there, that'd be great.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Light the candle.
Do it together.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam
right here.
That for me?
On page 123, we are going to continue with saying our blessing over the wine.
Please stand if you are able. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu בשבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחילנו זיכרון למעשה וראשית כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש זכר לציאת מצרים כי באנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת amen לחיים.
L'chaim. So thank you so much for leading us in these Shabbat prayers. And I see the Air Force hat and everything like that. I'm wondering if both of you would be willing to share a little bit about your service.
Sure. Go ahead, Steve.
Well, I spent 4 years and 8 months in the Air Force. I thought,
You may be seated, sorry.
Oh, it's going to be long.
No.
of course, I thought flying might be a wonderful thing to do, all 5'2" of me. And, and when I went in 1959, the pilots were complaining that the cockpits of the aircraft were too small and they were uncomfortable. So the government at that time started building brand new jet fighters. But I wasn't really sure when the recruiter said to me, you want to be a pilot? And I said, I don't know. He says, well, let me give you a test. So he gave me a test, and as it turns out, I really did well on the administrative portion. I scored very high, and if you score high in administration, you wind up in accounting and finance. So for my 4 years and 8 months, making a long story short, I was in accounting and finance, and I loved it. My first assignment was on a nuclear bomber base. Stories I could tell you about that. Reaching out, being this far from a nuclear bomb, and your heart pounding really fast when you have that experience. And then I spent my last 2 years in the military in Japan. Okay, a very unfortunate experience there. I was there when President Kennedy was assassinated. That was a terrible, terrible time. It lasted about 3 weeks or so, and about 3 or 4 weeks until they found out it wasn't a conspiracy. I can tell you about that at Owning Shabbat if you want to hear the story about that. And so Vietnam was just starting. 64, I was in from 59 to 64. And they told me they would give me a promotion if I would stay, knowing that I would probably be sent to Vietnam, not fighting, but where the accounting and finance folks would be. And I said, thanks, but no thanks. So I got out. I had already completed 2 years of college. The GI Bill was in existence at that time. So when I got out, government paid for me to complete my education. And while I was in college getting ready to graduate, the government found me. The heck did they find me? I don't know. I guess when the government wants you, they can find you wherever you're at. They came to the college, and they explained to me that the government had just formed a brand new agency, the Defense Contract Audit Agency, and they were looking for auditors. Well, I don't remember my exact words, but I said, "Take me, I'm yours." So I spent the next 37 years as an auditor for the defense. Okay?
Wonderful.
Stories I could tell you, again, not now, but maybe afterwards. So that's basically the long and the short of it.
Thank you so much, Steve. Thank you for sharing a little bit about your story. And I'd love to hear a little bit about what your experience was.
You would?
Yes?
Mine was not as glamorous as Steve's.
Can you walk a little
sure.
closer so the microphone
Oh,
can?
definitely.
Just right there, it's perfect.
Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, it's appropriate that we're celebrating 30 years of knocking down the wall in Berlin. I joined the Army National Guard because I flunked college, so where else to park myself but in the Army National Guard. And it turned out to be a good experience. But I joined the Army National Guard because with the Berlin Wall coming down, there was a lot of talk about activating young men like myself. So I figured I'd find shelter at the National Guard. So I served 6 years. I saw the riots in Newark. There was a post office strike that they activated troops, the National Guard. So I was there 6 years. I also specialized in tanks. So anyway, I think we all have stories. We have to pray before we hear any more stories.
Well, before we even do that, we can say a blessing over both of you and all of the veterans in our community and who all of us are thinking about here today. Sorry. So, America was founded on principles of liberty and opportunity and justice for all. And on this Shabbat, we recognize that both of you standing here have valiantly defended these values throughout our nation's history. As members, both past and present, the U.S. Armed Forces, you have helped to make the United States more secure and have helped to advance the cause of freedom worldwide. By answering the call of duty and risking your lives to protect your fellow citizens, you have inspired us with your courage and dedication. And so we offer these words of blessing to you. Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, our God and God of our ancestors, we stand here with those who have served their country faithfully, who inspire us with their example of patriotic devotion. We offer gratitude for all that is brave and strong in your character. Let us recognize that in times of peace as in war, those who serve this country are champions of righteousness and warriors of peace, warriors of justice. May you bless them now with your continued strength and peace, and may your presence be with them now and always. Mazal Tov, thank you both so much for everything that you have done.
Thank you for honoring us today.
Of course. Thank you for coming up for words of blessing.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Answered.
Thank you for your service.
Yes, thank you.
Shabbat shalom, Steve.
Thank you so much. Yes, of
Can
course.
I go down over there?
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Steve. On page 128, we sing the words of Hine Matov.
הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
On page 138, we continue with Lecha Dodi, and when we reach the final verse, I'll invite everyone to rise if you're able to do so.
לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבורך תשמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד ושם תפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו בליל חכים מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי התעוררי כי בעורף ומי אורי 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 שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ועלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה בואי חלה. לך דודי פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קהלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
And since we are all standing, why don't we greet one another? How great it is to see one another this Shabbat.
Shabbat shalom.
Hello, how are you?
Shabbat shalom.
Now that we've greeted one another, or at least begun to, we prepare to have our prayer to God, the Baruch Hu, our call to worship on page 146.
Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed. Le'olam va'ed. Yalla lai lai lai, 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 lai lai.
On page 148. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being and skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the season and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tsevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening.
Baruch atah Adonai Hamariv Haravi.
On page 150. Ahavat olam beit Yisrael amcha havta, Torah mitzvot chokim u'mishpatim otanu lamadata. Everlasting love you offer your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai, our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel.
Baruch atah Adonai Ohev Amo Yisrael.
152.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
You may be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Once or twice in a lifetime, a man or woman may choose a radical leaving, having heard Lech Lecha, go forth. God disturbs us toward our destiny by hard events and by freedom's now urgent voice, which explode and confirm who we are. We don't like leaving, but God loves becoming.
To a land that I will show you. Lech lecha, to a place you do not know. Lechi lach, on your journey I will bless you.
6:45.
And you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Lechi lach. Lechi lach. And I shall make your name great. And all shall praise your name. Lechi lach, on your journey I will bless you. Lesimchat chayim, lesimchat chayim, lesimchat chayim, lechi lach. Page 158. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh, nora tehilot, osei fele, osei fele, osei fele, lechi lach. מלכותך ראו בניך, אורכי הים לפני משה ומרים. זה אלי ענו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. And you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. Lechi lach. ונאמר כי בד אדוני את יעקב יהלום יד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
We turn to page 160 as we prepare to say the words of the Hashkivenu prayer. We recall how scary it must have been for Abraham and Sarah to have left the only home that they had ever known to set off radically on this journey forward in this week's Torah portion, and how comforting it must have been for God to promise that God would look out for them and protect them under the shadow of God's wings. And we too tonight, by offering the Hashkivenu prayer, can take on that legacy of protection, of prayer, of graciousness, of God looking out for each of us.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Vehamidenu shomereinu lechaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Ve'amidenu shomereinu lechaim Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha Ushmor tzeiteinu uvoeinu Uveros aleinu sukat shlomecha Ushmor tzeiteinu uvoeinu Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Ve'amidenu shomereinu lechaim Baruch atah Adonai Haporei sukat shalom Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. Amen. Page 162, we continue with the words of Ashamru. Veshameru b'nei Yisrael et HaShabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש.
We move to the Amidah on page 164. Pray as if everything depended on God. Act as if everything depended on you. I invite you to rise if you're able to do so at this time.
Adonai שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. La 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 la, ya 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 la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu ve'Imotenu. Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Komel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei Hakol, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. I invite everyone to continue their prayers silently through page 181, either with the prayers on the page or the meditations of your heart, and to sit down when your prayer is complete.
שלום רב, על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב, שלום רב, על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. כי אתה הוא מלך אדון לכל השלום. שלום רב, שלום רב, על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב, שלום רב, על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל בכל עת ובכל שעה. בשלומך שלום רב, שלום רב, על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב, שלום רב, על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. ברוך אתה אדוני המברך את עמך ישראל בשלום.
We begin our Torah service this evening on page 362. I invite you to rise if you're able to do so.
אין כמוך ואלוהים אדוני, ואין כמעשיך, מלכותך מלכות כל עולמים, וממשלתך בכל דור ודור. אדוני מלך, אדוני מלך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן, אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. אב הרחמים, היטיבה ברצונך את ציון. תבנה חומות ירושלים, תבנה חומות ירושלים. כי בך לבד בטחנו, מלך אל רם ונישא, אדון עולמים. כי מציון תצא תורה, כי מציון תצא תורה, ודבר אדוני מירושלים. ברוך שנתן תורה תורה, ברוך שנתן תורה תורה, לעמו ישראל בקדושתו. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo, Gadlu Adonai iti, Uneromem Shemo יחדיו, לך אדוני הגדולה והגבורה והתפארת והנצח וההוד, כי כל בשמיים ובארץ, כי כל בשמיים ובארץ, לך אדוני הממלכה, ועמיד נעשה לכל ראש. ישראל, ישראל, ואורייתא חד הוא. ישראל, ישראל, ואורייתא חד הוא. תורה אורה, תורה אורה, הללויה. Ora, 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 hallelujah, hallelujah, ora, 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 hallelujah, ora, 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 hallelujah, Yisrael, Yisrael, ve'chad, hup, 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 Yisrael tacharu Torah ora Torah hallelujah Torah ora Torah ora hallelujah hallelujah Torah ora hallelujah Torah ora, Torah ora, hallelujah. Yisrael, Yisrael, ve'orayta chad hu. Yisrael, Yisrael, ve'orayta chad hu.
You may be seated. Awesome. So we're going to be reading right from the very beginning of this week's parasha, this week's Torah portion, beginning of Lech Lecha, rather. The song is so ingrained in my head that I'm resorting to Debbie Friedman's words. But for the Aliyah, I'd like to call up anyone who is celebrating a birthday or an anniversary in the month of November. Yes, that's including you. You thought you were getting away without it tonight, but no, sorry. Anyone else have a birthday or anniversary in November? Come up, please. And if the veterans don't mind me picking on them even more, I'd love to invite you up as well to do the Aliyah over Torah.
What? Is it under 13?
No,
No, no.
Oh, no.
everyone here is an adult.
Everyone is an adult here, yeah.
Come closer to Torah.
Yeah.
Come closer to Torah. You of all people know Torah doesn't bite. We read it so beautifully.
There's
Okay.
another copy right here, too. There we go.
All right, you ready to bless? Yeah. 1, 2, 3. Baruch Adonai Amolach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch atah Elam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'na'ata lanu et torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. אמן. ויאמר אדוני אל אברהם, לך לך מארצך וממולדתך ומבית אביך אל הארץ אשר אראך, ואעשך לגוי גדול, ואברך ואגדלה שמך, והיה ברכה. ואברך מברכך ומקללך האור, ונברכו בך כל משפחות האדמה. וילך אברהם כאשר דיבר אליו אדוני, וילך איתו לוט. ואברהם בן 5 שנים ו70 שנה בצאתו מחרן.
אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר נתן לנו תורת אמת, וחיי עולם נבא אלוהינו, ברוך אתה אדוני,
נותן התורה. Amen. Do a little do-si-do.
All right, yes, we do a little dancing up here. So both of you as veterans, you're allowed to go sit down now. We love you coming up so much, though. We are so happy that you were here to take such a prominent role in our service. So yet again. But I would love to offer the birthday people, birthday women, blessing for your birthdays. So when is your birthday? The 24th. And when is your birthday? Today. How awesome is that? So we get to offer both of you a blessing on this wonderful occasion. Mishaberach avotenu v'imotenu. May the one who blessed our mothers and our fathers bless each of you as you celebrate your birthdays this month. May the year ahead abound in blessings. May you be surrounded by the warmth of family and friends and your temple community. May you laugh deeply and often. This year, may you delight in new opportunities which allow you to grow in new and exciting ways. May you hit a home run with the bases loaded, get a standing ovation, and find the perfect parking spot when you need it the most. But most of all, may you feel valued and appreciated and loved for all that you are. Mazal tov to each of you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday,
birthdays
Sarah.
to you.
Thank you.
Mazal tov, happy birthday.
Thank you. We are
Good for Josh. Oh, that's right. I almost
So-
forgot. That's a good thing.
We are going to slightly move around. The tradition at TBE has been to say the Mishaberach prayer before the Torah service. But there actually is a tradition of saying Mishaberach in the presence of the Torah while the Torah is out. Because it's thought that when the Torah is out, it's a really special sacred moment. And that's part of why we do blessings for anniversaries and birthdays around the Torah being read. And so we're going to try as well to offer a prayer of healing as our Torah is out before us. So as I go around the room, I invite you to say aloud the name of anyone who is in need of healing of mind, healing of body, or healing of spirit. If you want, you can stand up or raise your hand or signal in some other way that you would like to say a loved one's name.
Alsbach.
Howard Euler, Sarika Sorkin, Robin Gregson, Tamar Davidson, Pat Wade, Ramel Cinco.
Rebecca Rothstein, Sheldon Weinberg. Page 373, the Misha Barach prayer. 71.
May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Beirach imotenu mekor haberacha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Rofeh HaCholim. Blessed are you, God, whose healing presence is with all of those in need. And we all say, Amen.
Amen. We will prepare to lift up the Torah for all to see on page 370.
Oh, yay, I love a lefty. Please stand.
Please rise.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. וזאת התורה, וזאת התורה, וזאת התורה אשר שם משה, וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לפני בני ישראל, לפני בני ישראל. וזאת התורה, 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 וזאת התורה.
Page 374.
יהללו את שם אדוני, כי נשגב שמו לבדו. הודו על ארץ ושמיים, וירם קרן לעמו. תהילה לכל חסידיו, לבני ישראל עם קרובו. הללויה, hallelujah.
When Torah entered the world, freedom entered it. The whole Torah exists only to establish peace. Its highest teaching is love and kindness. What is hateful to you, do not do to any person. That is the whole Torah. All the rest is commentary. Go and learn it. Those who study Torah are the true guardians of civilization, honoring one another, doing acts of loving kindness, and making peace. These are our highest duties. But the study of Torah is equal to them all because it leads to them all. Let us learn in order to teach. Let us learn in order to do.
מאושר דרכיה דרכי נועם וכל נתיבותיה שלום השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה חדש ימינו חדש ימינו כקדם.
You may be seated. Lech lecha ma'artzecha u'meloditecha mebeit avicha. Go forth from your native land, from your father's house to the land that I will show you. These words are a big ask from God, and they are the words that open up this week's parashah. They're a big ask for a man who grew up in a land full of idols, for a man who had no one to teach him Torah or about this God who suddenly speaks to him. The rabbis ask, who exactly taught Avram Torah? How did he come to know this one God? And some of the rabbis say, well, his own father didn't teach him. He didn't have a master to teach him. So perhaps it was God, God's self, who taught him about God, who taught him Torah. Other rabbis say that he simply taught himself. But in this parashah, I believe that there is another key, another component that is hidden within. There are stories early on about Abraham as a young child having wisdom beyond his years. One story from Sefer Agadah speaks of a young boy at the age of 3 who emerges from a cave. And when he looks up at the sky, he sees the sun and begins praising the sun because sun has brought all of this light into the world that he now sees. But then the sun goes down. And when the sun goes down, the moon and the stars arise, and he begins to stay up all night praising the moon and the stars. But then the sun rises once more, and a young Avram at the age of 3 says, aha, it's not the sun, it's not the moon and the stars, it's something bigger. From now on, I will praise God. Now the story is a little far-fetched, right? And yet there is something that is so intriguing about it. This idea that Abraham was born from a young age with a heart that called to him for something different than what he was growing up with. And so when years later, and many years later, in fact, he was 75 years old when God calls to him and says, Lech lecha, go forth on this journey, there was something within Avram that knew that he needed to respond, that knew that he needed to heed God's call. God says, I will make of you a great nation, and I will bless you. I will make your name great, and you shall be a blessing. I will bless those who bless you and curse those who curse you, and all the families of the earth shall bless themselves by you. And Abram went forth as the Eternal had commanded him, and his nephew Lot went with him. Abraham was 75 when he left Haran. So Abraham, Abraham, or actually in this parasha, the beginning of the parasha, he's called Avram. He'll get the name Abraham later on. But Avram took this leap of faith, beginning to follow God at the age of 75. So often when we think about the first person to convert to Judaism, we don't think about Avram as the first convert. We think maybe of Ruth, that we studied during the holiday of Shavuot. We think of others who have come along the way, but this parasha points out that it was actually Avram. And it wasn't just Avram, of course, it was Sarah and all those who were with them. The Torah says, Avram took his wife Sarah and his brother's son Lot, and all of the wealth that they had amassed and all the persons they had acquired in Haran, and they set out for the land of Canaan. Now, this wording might be bringing up some questions in our minds, right? What does that mean, the people who Avram had acquired? The rabbis spend a little bit of time talking about this. Does it mean that Avram has slaves? Does it mean the servants who help to tend to the goats, the herds that he has with him? Or does it perhaps mean something else entirely? It's said that Avram brought under the wings of the Shekhinah, under the wings of God, all these people who would enter the journey with them. That perhaps these people who Avram acquired, he didn't acquire them at all. Rather, they were people who joined with him in this journey to go out, Lech Lecha, towards the promised land. And for all of these reasons, when someone in our tradition converts to Judaism, what is the name that they receive? They choose a Hebrew name, but then they become Ben or Bat or B'nai for someone who's non-gender conforming. They become a child of who? Avram v'Sarah. Avraham v'Sarah, because they are the first ones to take that leap. And everyone who follows after them, it is as if they are those souls who were acquired, those people who Avram himself brought under the wings of the Shekhinah. Years ago, there was a woman named Valerie Scott, not that many years ago, maybe 20 years ago, and she converted to Judaism. She wrote a poem called Passing the Torah about what it was like for her to become a Jew, and this is what she wrote. When I watch the passing of the Torah at a bar or bat mitzvah, I wonder, who passes the Torah to me? My father is Irish Catholic, and my mother is a Catholic who was once a Presbyterian. My name is Ruth, but Avraham v'Sarah, but Avraham and Sarah died a long time ago. I have no family stories about Passover. Like Ruth, I'm here only because I wanted to be. Who passes the Torah to me? When I approached a rabbi about conversion, he gently suggested that we study together and pass the Torah to me. When my first Hebrew teacher patiently guided me right to left through the alphabet, she passed the Torah to me. When I shivered in the water of the mikvah and the cantor led me through the blessings, she passed the Torah to me. When I talked for an hour with the Beit Din, when the Torah study class showed me how Jews study Bible, when the Talmud group welcomed me for discussions and stories, when an Israeli acquaintance corrected my Hebrew, when my study partner clapped a kippah on my head, they passed the Torah to me. When a little girl showed me how to tear the challah, when a woman offered me my first taste of a Hillel sandwich, when the guy at the bakery said Shabbat Shalom, when a committee chair said to me, here, you can do this. When friends shared recipes and stories and customs, they passed the Torah to me. If it takes a village to raise a child, it takes a congregation to raise a convert. We pass the Torah from hand to hand and make sure all the Jews who want can hold it, can write it on their hearts, speak of it in their homes, teach it to their children, bind it on their hands, hold it before their eyes, and write it in golden letters on the doorposts of their gates. Valerie studied Judaism, observed the Jewish holidays, and entered the mikvah. She took on a Jewish name, but Valerie became the Jew she became because of the gentle, loving hands of her Jewish community, who nourished her soul, answered her questions, and uplifted her along the way. It takes a congregation to raise a convert, she says. And it takes a congregation to raise each of us in our own journey. As we know, Abraham began his journey at 75, but officially, he converted not at the age of 75, but 24 years later in the Torah. As we read at the very end of this parashah, Avram is circumcised and therefore becomes a member of the Jewish people, bringing on the covenant, along with his son, Ishmael, and all of the people who were there who made community with him. He was called by God as an individual, but he became a Jew through being part of community. He needed the inspiration of the community to come into his own Jewish identity. Today, we have in this room people who are Jews by birth and people who are Jews by choice. People who are not Jewish, but who are intricately woven into the fabric of our Jewish community, and who nourish it with their presence and their commitment to being here. Mechilta teaches that the Torah was given in a public place, not in Israel, so that we would know that anyone who wants to be close to it can be, that in some way it belongs to each and every one of us. And so we don't need to be closed off. Rather, we can reach out to one another because we are all part of this community and we all have access to Torah. There are too many stories in this world about Jews of color who are treated like they don't belong in our synagogues, about people who are Jews by choice who are treated as second-class Jews. What I love so much about this community is that's not the case. Anyone who walks through these doors is welcomed in and acknowledged and uplifted for all that they are and all that they have to bring. We are blessed by each and every one of the individuals in our community. The Torah said that Abraham acquired souls to go with him on this journey, but I'd like to believe that through others, Abraham acquired not other souls, but actually his own soul. That through the people who he got to know, through the people who he shared the journey with, he came to truly understand what it meant to be a member and a father of Am Yisrael, of people Israel. Lech Lecha, we are called to the Jewish people for our own individual reasons, with our own journeys and our own stories. Lech Lecha, we are called to one another, taking on the sacred obligation of nurturing one another on their journeys. In so doing, may we recognize that the best way to find ourselves is by reaching out to our neighbor and walking on this journey together. Ken Yehi Ratzon, may this be God's will. I invite everyone in our community to please rise if you're able to do so as we turn to the Aleinu prayer on page 586.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה להיות ראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים, לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
You may be seated. As we hear a few announcements by Jessica Feldman on behalf of the board.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
It is my pleasure to be here this evening representing the Board of Directors. The Sisterhood Gift Shop will be open after services. We appreciate your support of our Temple Bethel Sisterhood. If you are new to our congregation tonight, I'd like to welcome you to Temple Bethel. Please stay for our Oneg Shabbat immediately following services so that Rabbi Kale, Cantor Davidson, and members of our leadership can say hello to you. We have a lot of great activities coming up, and we hope to see you at many of them. Number one, tomorrow morning, please join us back here at 9:30 for our lay-led Shabbat Torah service. At noon, there will be a potluck Kiddush luncheon. Number two, this Thursday, November 14th, please join Rabbi Cassie for a
10 o'clock tomorrow.
10 o'clock tomorrow? Oh, this one? Okay. So 10 o'clock for the lay-led Shabbat service tomorrow. Thank you. This Thursday, November 14th, please join Rabbi Cassie for a challah bake here in the Temple Bethel kitchen. We will meet at 4:30 to prepare the chalot for the new member dinner the following evening on the 15th. And the reservation deadline for this Shabbat dinner, welcoming our new members, has been extended to Wednesday at noon. Please call Carrie to make your dinner reservation. And finally, it is not too late to join Cantor Davidson for the Salon concert tomorrow evening, hosted at the home of Bob Gold. This is the first concert of the season, and the theme is Songs of Gratitude. Please see Cantor after services to make your reservation. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you so much. Tomorrow, as many of us know, is a day that we remember Kristallnacht, when 81 years ago, glass was shattered, the night of broken glass, when synagogues were vandalized and torched, when homes were destroyed and Jewish shops as well in Germany by the Nazi regime. And we remember that 90 lives were taken during Kristallnacht, 90 Jews who lost their lives in a fit of what would become the Holocaust, what would become a really dark moment in Jewish history and in world history. We will say the words of the Mourner's Kaddish this evening for people in our community, people in our thoughts who we are remembering. And we will also add to our hearts the names of all those who died during Kristallnacht and, of course, during World War II. This Shabbat, we are remembering the recent death of Audrey Ventura, who died this week. We are observing the Shloshim for Harriet Korn, who died last week. We are also, and I invite you to rise if I say the name of a loved one, observing the yahrzeits for Susan Adams, Robert Allen, Florence Becker, Esther Borgida, Cydia Bronschild, Gloria Britz, Marquetta Kolb, Jack Colbert, Alex Kodoroff, Celia Dennerstein, Samuel Frank, Morris Friedman, Simcha Friedman, Harry Frooms, Myron Greisdorf, William Harris, Meyer Herschel-Hellman, Regine Hoffnung, Ronnie Jones, Harry Kaplan, Miriam Karp, Jack Kadanek, Sarah A. Klein, Belle Lewin-Krauss, Morris Jacob Lennon, Edward Mullen, Beulah Moore, Bernard Paul, Ruth Politzer, Ephraim Rosenberg, William Rubenstein, Samuel Schneider, Solomon Simon, Edward Sokolsky, Julius Wiener, Harold Weingarten, George Welsh, and Neil Zaffron. Is there anyone else we are remembering this Shabbat? I invite everyone to rise as a community as we offer the words of the Mourner's Kaddish in all of their memories, page 598. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, ve'almad yivrach cherotei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayachon uv'yomechon, uv'chayei d'kol beit Yisrael, Ba'gala ubizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mivarach le'olam olamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shemei tekudesha b'richu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushvachata v'nechamata. Damiram ve'alma v'yimru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'romav. Hu yaseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. V'yimru amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen.
Amen. Oseh shalom b'romav. Uyaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
And let us join together to have this beautiful challah. I invite you to put a finger on the challah or a finger on someone who has a finger on the challah. There you go.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz Shabbat shalom.
Amen. There you go.
I have to have a piece of this. Take a piece of
There you go. Go for it.
Oh, here you go. Okay, thank you.
I know. Okay. Thank you so much, Naomi. What? Absolutely. You get the biggest piece. Go for it, Paul.
I had some wonderful Jewish experiences in the military, especially in Japan.
Really?
I was at there's a temple in
I know. Don't you love that? Don't you love that? I can relate to that one.